yeah, we got Tim Kennedy on the show today.
How?
Oh, whoops. Oh, this is the other famous Green Beret. Just kidding. We got Nate Boyer out here. But I mean,
Tim Kennedy would kick my ass.
Well, he's a fighter. You can't. That's just not fair to
kick a lot of people's asses.
Yeah,
It's true.
When that's what you're doing, it's like, am I going to challenge a house framer to a framing competition?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I'll be like, I'll do it better, dude. And he'd be like, you don't even know what 19 gauge nails are. I'll be like, what? He's like, I got you bitch.
Dumbass.
Yeah,
like the consequences of losing a framing competition are less.
I don't know if the house collapsing on children.
Yeah, that's true.
Or-
you have to live in that house.
collapsing on you when you get to the second floor.
If that's the
fall.
rule, like you got to frame it, then live in it.
And then put children.
Then
Or it's
you got to
an
frame the
orphanage.
second floor.
It's an orphanage that you're framing. So
There's high stakes for
a
this.
lot to lose.
But that's it. You can't, I mean, yeah, there's the whole aspect of we've all gotten in a fight at some point, or you could fight at any given time, but you're not going to want to fight a professional fighter. No. That's something that they just practiced every single day. And I mean, even then, outside of studying a specific martial arts, just to go in and like have a, almost no rules fight with somebody where they could take you down with some wrestling moves, or they could just punch at you, or they kick you in the head.
Yeah.
I'm confident he would win a tickle fight. He could tickle you to death.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Tim Kennedy? Yeah.
Most
His
fighters.
fingers are so strong. Like he would poke holes in your rib cage.
Yeah, it's not going to tickle.
He does that. Like if you've ever been on set with him, like he just drives one of his fingers into your ribs, like when he's bored. Like he likes
HR would like to talk to
inflicting
him.
like pain is just like breathing to him.
Yeah, that's a good metaphor.
Yeah, he's like, and if he hasn't done it in a while, he gets a little itchy.
He hasn't breathed in a while.
Yeah, and he's just kind of like looking around for like who the weakest person is in his like eye shot.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah.
Here I am.
But if you challenged, Tim to something in football, you'd whoop his ass.
Probably not. I don't know. Tim's a freak, dude.
I mean,
depends on what it is.
Yeah,
sure.
Long snapping, I got it.
You see?
Yeah, exactly.
You that.
You guys should do that competition.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And then you have to fight him.
Did you learn that deployed?
I did.
So you guys were watching football, and you're like, "Well, shit.
Well,
how does somebody do that?"
So
That looks easy.
it is pretty easy.
Tell the story as if Mike he would tell the story.
Okay. So actually, I was in Iraq in 08, 09, and growing up, I didn't play. I had played baseball, I played basketball, and I was decent, but not great. No scholarships or anything like that. And football is my favorite sport, but I
didn't play.
I was a late bloomer. And so now it's like I'm in the military and I'm in my late 20s, and I know I want to go to school finally. And I was like, wherever I go, I'm going to try for the football team. Yeah. And, Texas is a good place to go to school, and it's a good football team, apparently. I mean, I knew that, but I was a fan. And so I started training over there on base, like running routes and trying to learn how to backpedal. And because I didn't know what position I was going to play. With my size, obviously, it's limited. But I get out there, I walked on, made the team, but I was never going to see the field as a safety or a receiver. So I had to rethink things. And I was still in the guard, just training down the street, actually, Camp Bolus, in 19 Special Forces Group, and got deployed that summer. So I brought a couple footballs with me and just learned how to long snap while I was on deployment, and then came back and won the job. And that was it.
That's pretty awesome.
Who was teaching you, though?
YouTube. Google.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I mean?
That's the greatest story ever.
You just learn anything.
He's like, dude, I went to the NFL off of YouTube.
You could probably learn how to frame a house.
Yeah.
You could probably learn how to beat Tim Kennedy.
Yeah, I watched a YouTube
YouTube
tutorial and I beat Tim Kennedy in a fight.
You beat Tim Kennedy in a fight?
No. I'm just saying that would be. No, don't ask him that.
I'm going to set that up.
No, don't do that.
Let's see if we can challenge that one.
No, I don't like that idea.
I mean, he's jealous of you being able to pick up a 400-pound sandbag.
Sure, yeah, that's fun. So, like, if we ever say he was trying to kill me, at least I could maybe pick him up and slam him.
You could pick him up, but then he probably
he's going to be choking me out. He's going to
do the like double fisted, like he's just
bashing my head in while I'm doing it. Yeah.
But he's like hitting your back, and it's taking out like 3 ribs at a time.
Probably, yeah.
And you're like, oh,
yeah, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really scary. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like any of it. Let's just pray it doesn't happen.
He's been through like 5 rounds. I don't know who. Like I would say maybe John Jones. Maybe I'm lying, but let's just say John. Dude, Tim Kennedy survived 5 rounds with John Jones.
I think I heard that.
Yeah,
I don't think that's right, but
no, it happened.
It could be
3 times.
Yeah.
I mean, he was telling me like the early years, like, you would have to fight multiple people in a day. Like even Jason Ellis, like our skateboard friend, fought MMA for a while, and he was like, oh, we did this tournament, and then my coach was like, you have to fight 10 people. He's like, oh God, that doesn't sound fun. And he's like, all right, the first one you have to fight is Uriah Faber. He's like, oh God. It's just like, he's like, what kind of 10-person tournament is this?
It's just like high school wrestling, except you're punching and kicking and bloodied and a little bit different.
Yeah, even like leg kicking. People
Concussed.
that have never been...
I have a great story about that.
Never been properly leg kicked. Don't understand.
This is a good one.
The damage that a pro fighter can do with one kick to your throat.
To that point,
yeah.
And this was not a pro fighter, but I was in LA with some friends and leaving like a bar, leaving a bar at 2 a.m. proper time, and there was these 2 dudes. They were Russian or from that region. In like
Slovaks,
jumpers, and like what do you call them? Like tracksuits, yeah. They always wear. It was just like a movie, And they were leaving through the crowd, and there's like there's women and stuff, and these guys are like bowling through everybody, just like shoulder checking left and right, and I was like, what the f is going on? So I just went over to, and I was just like, what are you guys doing? And there was like, what? Like you want to fight? And we're standing in the street, like near Hollywood Boulevard, where there's shit everywhere, And I see a cop car like 50 yards away, just like sitting up there. I'm like, this is dumb. Yeah. Don't do anything stupid. So I stand there, and he's like, and then like a circle is forming around us. And I'm like, this is bad. And, but my buddies are egging it on, and his buddies are egging it on. So all of a sudden he just like leg kicks me, like snap kick, like pretty hard. Right. Not a big guy. We're like the same size. He's not big. But, it hit, and I was like, it hurt, but I made no noise. And then he just did it again and again and again. He kicked me like 12 times in the same thigh. And
now you're like useless.
But I just stood there and acted like, try and act tough. There's girls watching, And then he like walks away. My buddies were like, dude, like you're a beast. And I was like, dude, it hurts so bad. I'm like, I can't. Like as soon as they're out of eyesight, I'm limping away like terribly. And I woke up in the morning and it was just blue. It was awful. Yeah. So that's not a fighter.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Like imagine getting kicked by John Bones Jones or Tim or whoever.
Leg kickers, like they will pick that spot and just pick it apart. Like get 3 to 5 good ones in each round until you're like legitimately like, oh, I'm not using this leg anymore.
Exactly.
Dude, I did a little bit of like Brazilian jiu-jitsu outside of like my senior year of college or senior year of high school. So it would have been freshman into sophomore year of college. And our trainer, he was the only one there that was like my size. So we would do like body conditioning and stuff. And it was like, you're hitting each other at like 50 to 60%. And you're just like, you're kind of just getting used to like learning how to brace or to like fall with that hit. So it like doesn't like full impact you, like being able to move with it. And he would come around and he'd be like, if you're not kicking each other hard enough, I'm going to kick you. And I was like, he's like, you don't have anybody even in here big enough, so you're going to be my partner. I was like, oh, great. And he's been like boxing and doing this crap for like 20 some years. And I don't think he ever went pro or anything, but like he's been training and all this stuff. He's a big shredded dude. He starts laying into my legs, dude. And like, so I'm handing it back to him. And then he kicked me like 20 times in my leg. And then like we had to go into like the rest of like rolling and all the conditioning and stuff. The next day, like I couldn't even like stand up. Like my leg, like you said, it was like just black all the way down to my knee. And I was like, what am I even supposed to do? But for like 2 weeks, man, I was like limping. I was like, I can't even go back to the class. I was like, I have to miss the class for 2 weeks
or
now.
High your upper calf.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
it'll like
oh, dude,
spasm
it'll
and you're done.
like cramp it up pretty much like Charlie horse.
If you've ever foam rolled, it's pretty much anywhere on your leg where it hurts to foam roll. That's where you're supposed to get kicked,
dude. But I like didn't go back for like 2 weeks, and he's like, "Where you at?" I was like, "Dude," I was like, "You me up." I was like, "I can't even come back." I was like, "I can barely like walk." So then, like when we went back, we were doing like actual boxing, and I had done boxing like for a few years in high school, and I was like a little bit bigger than him. So I was like, now is my time, and so I was like, dude, I was beating the hell out of him and like almost knocked him out a few times. He's like, okay, all right, we're done. I was like,
back to the kicks.
Yeah, I was like, okay, good.
Back to the kicks.
Dude, yeah, like I saw a fight recently. It was just like on my timeline of some dude, and all he did was kick. He was like looked like some type of Asian, like that like group, like where Muay Thai and all that shit is at, like that kind of guy.
That's the thing is you got to watch out for a kickboxer.
Oh yeah,
because he'll f you
That's
up.
all he did. He was only kicking that guy,
and he wasn't tired.
No,
he was getting like every 30 seconds.
It was nuts,
dude. And one of these Muay Thai guys gets you right in the ear with a kick. Yeah, you're done.
Yeah,
dude. Like, and they've got so much distance between you.
Yeah,
like
using that long leg. Yeah,
you just get up. Like this is the secret weapon, dude.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I never
like
had
using
a desire.
Singa and Street Fighter. He's got them long arms and legs. You know?
Yeah, it's scary.
And that's why we're all gun people.
Hey, what are you doing? Not using Firecracker Farm's hot salt, huh? You're just living in the past, smearing peppers and normal salt on your food. If you like salt and you like a little bit of heat, use Firecracker Farm's hot salt, okay? So go to Firecracker.farm and use code PIE to save 20% on your order. What are you waiting for? Get hot salt! Get hot salt right now!
Yeah, that's why you just shoot them.
Exactly, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah.
So you walked on with the Longhorns. And then you came back from the deployment and you showed him that you could lawn snap.
Yeah. I talked to, so Mac Brown was a coach at the time. And before I went on the deployment, I went to his office because I was leaving like the next day. And I was like, hey, coach, I want you to know that, I want to try out for the long snapping position when I get back. I mean, I understand I don't have the speed, the size, the skill to play safety. And, of course I'm good with that, but I want to find a way on special teams, and the starting long snappers graduate and the backups graduate. And I've been messing with it a little bit, and I think I can figure it out because you know what it reminded me of? Learning to shoot a pistol, because literally the stance, grip,
everything is the same.
It's the same, and you can do one little piece of it. You know how you stand there and you draw 1,000 times, in certain schools before they'll let you fire a round off downrange. You know what I mean? And so like all those kind of things. So I'd lay on my back and try to get a good spiral going and just like, snapping it up to the ceiling and just do a ton of reps to get my wrists with that muscle memory. So you really get like it's almost like throwing a curveball, And then, figuring out the stance and like the sight picture, really my aim point, aim small, miss small, slow is smooth, smooth is fast, all those things transferred, you know what I mean? And then you just had to be patient with it. Like, it's not fun to do 100 long snaps a day. It's like very repetitive.
It's in an uncomfortable position.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, my back's still today. Like a lot of it, stuff that I struggle with pain-wise and like hips, I think it's from long snapping as much as anything else. Like the impact.
Yeah, but still you honed this whole skill on a single deployment and then came back and they were like, oh, you can do this.
Yeah. Yeah. They were like, you're still way too small and old. But so yeah, I was the backup for the first game that year. And then in that first game, he was a freshman that was recruited and, nice kid and all that, but you're playing in front of like 102,000 people. Yeah, it's nerve wracking. So you have to be able to block that out. And I did a pretty good job at being able to block it out. So he didn't have the best game in the world that first week. And so I started the next week and then just for the next 3 years, after that. So
that was it.
Yeah, I was in. Yeah, it was good.
And then the Seahawks came knocking.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, yeah, I got to play in a senior all-star game.
Okay.
After the end of that year, I thought that was it after the season. Like, I'm not, I was 34 at that time.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm probably not playing football anymore. And then in that game, they had a bunch, like the week of practices, they have all these scouts and some front office people and coaches that come to the practices and evaluate talent. And, I was definitely bigger than I am now, but I still was not that big. So they were all like, you got to put on like 30 pounds, but you should go for it, Might as well, especially at that position. Like, you don't have to be the best athlete in the world. You just got to be consistent.
Yeah.
And so I put on 30 pounds in 4 months, and it's not all good weight. There's pictures to prove it.
Sure.
Smashing calories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Eating everything, waking up in the middle of the night, drinking muscle milk.
I couldn't imagine, if someone was like, hey, we need you to put on 30 pounds. I'd be like, oh, no.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nighttime cheesecake, here I come.
It was fun for a week.
Yeah.
And then
I bet
it
it
was
did get,
like,
yeah, but
double dinners.
it was
Yeah.
a chore. It was a chore.
I bet.
I'm
you're
just a little guy. I'm
You're
not
still
Yeah.
just full all the time. You're like, oh, I don't want any
Yeah,
more.
exactly.
Sorry.
But it's cool. Yeah. So I got that opportunity. I remember, Pete Carroll, the phone call, like asking.
Didn't they
wanted to come to
draft you or
Seattle.
something?
So yeah, the last day of the draft,
Yeah.
it was I think May 2nd of 2015. And it was like supposed to be the greatest day in sports history, because it was the Kentucky Derby, Pacquiao Mayweather, multiple game sevens in the NBA and hockey, and then the last day of the draft. And so the Rams were still in St. Louis at the time, and they were not good at football. So the Rams and the Seahawks called like right after the draft was over to sign me as a free agent. And I had like 30 minutes to make a decision where to go. And maybe I would have had a better chance of, making the team with the Rams, but Seattle had been to back-to-back Super Bowls. It was like Marshawn and Russell
At that
Wilson
time,
and
too,
Richard
yeah.
Sherman. Yeah, they were the squad, the Legion of Boom, Cam Chancellor. So I just was, I called my dad and my agent, and both of them were like, you don't have a choice.
Go to Seahawks.
Yeah, go to Seahawks. Exactly. Yeah, come on.
Well, then,
all right.
that was shortly after that. We met in Hollywood.
Dude, my first gig. If you can call it a gig.
Hey, I mean, yeah.
We
He's in
met that week, and you're like, hey, you want to be in a movie?
Yeah, like you were in the headlines and everything. I got your number from somebody. It was like, hey, you want to come be in
You're
our
like,
movie?
show up in your pads.
Yeah. So like in the opening scene of Range 15, he's in his Longhorns, like with the shoulder pads. He's throwing a football in the bar. It's like the first 3 scenes, him and Vincent Marcus.
Yeah.
Like,
Pretty funny, man. It was cool.
and then like once we had wrapped, like that October, I met you up in Seattle and we did the military appreciation game
Yep.
on the field together
Yep.
while I was drilling.
Yep.
That was fun.
When did you, are you out? You got to be.
Yeah, I got out in 2018.
18, okay. 15 was the end of mine.
Yeah.
Early 15.
I was still in the guard
Yeah.
up until 18.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I remember me, you, and Flo was with
Flo.
us.
Yeah. Because he probably was with Boeing at the time, maybe, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Memories.
That's crazy. So what all years did you play?
So really 11 to 14.
Okay.
15. So with Seattle,
Yeah.
I only played in one game.
Okay.
And it was a preseason game.
Yeah.
So I get up there, I'm 34. I'm literally the oldest guy in the locker room, and I'm a rookie at the same time. And every day I'm just like, I'll probably get cut today. So kind of have that impending doom mentality. I mean, I'm still working hard and playing, but it's hard.
Yeah, sure.
And, but it just kept going, 5 months I was up there, through the off season and training camp. And then the preseason rolls around, and first game we're playing the Broncos, and it was, Peyton Manning's last year. So they went on to win the Super Bowl that year, and we got, we're playing the Broncos, and I find out I'm going to play the whole second half. And I'm like in the locker room, kind of nervous, ready for the game. And the equipment manager comes up to me and was like, hey, I remember, watching you in college, and you would lead the team out of the tunnel with the American flag for all the games. Do you want to do that today? And I was like, does a player usually do it? And he was like, no, it's usually, we'll grab someone that's down that on the field that's, in uniform or whatever. But just figured you might want it. And I was like, damn right I want to do that. And I was like, oh, this guy knows I'm getting cut in 3 days. Somehow. My Make-A-Wish moment is coming.
Hey, clear out the area where Nate's stuff is going to go. He's going to be turning it in. So.
Let him get the flag, get out of here, and then move.
Equipment manager, they let him know first.
He's like, I know, I got a good diversion. I'll give him the flag, and then I'll clear stuff. But so it was cool. So I ran out of the tunnel, and then in college, we're still in the locker room when they play the anthem. So I'd never been on the field when the anthem was played, and then I'd do that, and then they start singing the anthem. I started freaking bawling because I was just super emotional, man.
I'm in an NFL game. This is weird.
Yeah.
I was snapping a football in Iraq.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Thanks,
cool.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Thanks, YouTube.
Dude, you know something? Like, speaking of, you just talking about like it gets real emotional. Dude, bagpipes for me.
Yeah.
When someone plays any kind of anthem or anything on bagpipes, dude, I don't know what it is.
Play the
It's like a
bagpipes.
frequency that just makes
Dude,
the hairs on your neck
It
stand
really,
up.
yeah, it like gets me. I'm like I'm fine, and then I'm like, like trying. I'm like, wow.
I also feel like this aesthetic.
Yeah,
there may
yeah.
be bagpipes.
Maybe it's just ingrained in my
background.
soul or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, why do I like this so much?
Yeah. Then we were on Omaha Beach Cemetery while they're playing bagpipes.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, no way, dude. I'd be
you just feel
fucking
ghosts coming up
boo-hooing.
through you. You're like, oh, I'm just full of ghosts.
Yeah, no
You could
way.
feel that. Wasn't that place amazing? Just like, was that your first time there? That was my first time.
Oh yeah.
You could feel there's
You
just
start
like this,
recognizing
there's
everywhere.
this energy there. You can just feel it, man.
Well, because like I never knew. Well, obviously I saw Saving Private Ryan as a teenager,
Right.
so I had never put two and two together that they were at the Omaha Cemetery in the opening.
Yeah.
But then when I go back
yeah.
and watch it, I'm like, oh shit, that's, I know exactly where they are.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Right.
Like I was thinking that they were back in DC or something like
Right,
this, and this
right.
was Grandpa's. No.
Yeah,
Right.
crazy.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I remember right before I go, my buddy Will, who'd been out there, and he's not a vet, and I don't even know if he had a familial connection to it, but he's traveled a lot, and he was just like, it's the most powerful place on earth. He's like, I don't know how to describe it, but I just like, you could feel it.
I would say the most eye-opening thing though is because we came on the same, on the 80th anniversary, we essentially had the same tide and moon cycle as them. So like when we were out at Omaha they landed I think right at 6:30 or 7:30, like is when
Gotcha.
first gates dropped down. What you don't realize is how far it is from where the water is to just the first bulkhead that they had razor wired up and everything. And like, so you're running in 800 yards of just open sand.
So open. It's like you stare from the cemetery down Omaha, and it's like 3 miles of just
Germans were
beach.
literally just like,
Yeah.
with machine guns, like,
No cover,
mowing
no
down,
concealment.
we're just going to do this until our barrels melt off.
Yeah. It's actually shocking that only on the first day, I think 4,000 and change, Americans were killed.
They
From looking
lose
at that.
much. Well, I mean, a lot played into that. Number one is the quality of troops on the German side. They were conscripts, most of them that were in that region, because
Gotcha.
they were Czech.
Because they're gate guards,
Yeah,
basically.
it was just
Yeah.
it was random people put in German uniforms. Like, and I mean, I think that's why us and the British Paras had a easier time taking all those gun nests, was because they just were not trained on what happens when you have a platoon maneuvering on you.
Right.
Like, and even then, like, it doesn't matter how trained you are, at some point, like, you just don't have enough people to wave off what you're getting hit with, that firepower, because they were getting hit with naval gunfire and airstrikes at that point by the next morning. Like,
Right.
there's a really good like animated thing on YouTube that just shows all of D-Day unfold from every unit and like where
that's
they
cool.
end up, like,
I need to check
by
that
day
out.
6. Like,
Right.
so it just shows what units were covering where the paratroopers dropped, and their whole thing was destroy all the artillery that was going to fire on the beaches.
Right. That's cool. I'm working on a doc right now. So we started shooting when we were over there, shot for about 10 days. And it's all just straight to camera with these guys that are 98 to 105 years old, like straight up telling their stories one last time, you know what I mean? Just letting it rip. And it's wild, like some of the stuff they get into. 'Cause some of it before the war, after the war has nothing to do with that. But when they get into that stuff, the things that they remember, they're like, oh, I never talked about this before. And it's like, you're 105, you never talked about this? That's kind of crazy. And they just recall. I mean, of course, it's something traumatic like that you're never going to forget. But anyway, yeah, it's amazing. It's powerful stuff.
Everybody's got to do it. Like, if you're from any of the coalition countries, go check it out. Like, it's something like super cool. Yeah, when you go to Point de Hoc and you're like, they did what?
Exactly.
Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you could get some French oysters.
Froysters, as they call them.
Oysters, yeah, that's what they're.
Were they pretty
Not
good?
on that day. You can now.
You can now, not on that.
Not during
No.
the war.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They couldn't stop for
It was
oysters.
old oysters only.
Hard to find a restaurant in France.
Yeah, you were talking about that. That sounds
Did
not
you find
fun.
What do you mean? Like physically find the location?
Just to eat anywhere was very weird.
Oh yeah. No, they want, if you don't have a reservation, even if it's empty, they're just like, oh, you have a reservation?
Like,
We're
is there
like,
a reservation? You're like,
no, we want to buy we want to give you money for
here.
food. Yeah. Yeah. What about?
Well,
Exactly.
Walk
No, that was
outside and
the
call.
we don't want to. Me. Oui.
Yeah. All right. No money for you.
So you've been in a handful of movies, huh?
Done a few.
Since Range 15?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's stacking it up.
Handful of movies.
It's always random. I'm like, hey, hang on a second.
Yeah. What all you got under there? Like, what's been your favorite project to work on?
Man, I guess early on, the first one I really like was Den of Thieves. Did you ever see Den of Thieves?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one was cool just because the director, his name's Christian Gudegas. He's a good buddy.
Yeah.
Like he was awesome to work for because he was kind of like, we'd start the scene and he'd be like, just like say something like this. I don't know. And I'm like, I memorized what you wrote in the script. And he's like, it doesn't matter. He says, just whatever you think. And then I would say it and he'd be like, yeah. Okay, do that, but add this. And I don't know. He just like mix it up. And I'm just like,
that was another movie where I kept going, oh, wait, what?
yeah, exactly.
Well, that's cool.
A favorite part about
Tate
that.
Fletcher dies in every
Yeah.
movie. I said that when he was here. I was like, I have to watch you die every time I turn on an action film. That's like, you know what that does to my psyche? Like, I think you're dead.
Yeah.
But he's invincible, obviously.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is a scene with 50 Cent, and they cut it, unfortunately.
What?
But I was walking by him, and they wanted me to he's like, just whistle something. So I started whistling 50 Cent songs every time I went by him. You know what I mean? Like PAMP and all this stuff. And then the director wasn't catching on, but then someone, I guess the script supervisor, somebody told him, and he was like, you can't do that, man. Licensing. And I'm just like, soft. Yes, you can. Just pay for it.
Or just let it go and see if anybody says anything.
No one will say
Yeah,
anything.
come on. Yeah.
It's a whistle, dude.
Knowing the
That's a
music
reach.
industry, they'll find out about it 30 years from now and then still sue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the music industry is the only industry that ever sued the fans. 42,000 of them.
Yeah, pretty silly.
That's insane.
There's a really good documentary about Napsters.
About suing.
Napsters.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's called Napster or something
Yeah, I
like
think
that.
so. Yeah.
It was good.
I haven't seen
Like,
it.
yeah, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah. I gotta check it out. Yeah, that was cool. Terminalist was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like Terminalist a lot. My pride and joy for sure though is the MVP movie. So
Okay.
MVP stands for Merging Vets and Players. It's a charity I co-founded in 2015, end of 2015, after I got cut and I'd gotten out of the military and I'd got released from the Seahawks, and so went from having those locker rooms and a jersey and camouflage to identify with, like the uniform and mission and purpose and all that shit. And now I was like neither of those things. And so we started this org that just kind of helps sort of recreate the locker room for folks like that. Because there's a lot of vets, but also a lot of athletes that like when it's over and you're pretty young.
Yeah. Like, what do I do now?
Yeah, a lot of them don't know, or they don't even know what they like.
Yeah.
They don't have passions or drive.
Sure,
I mean,
yeah, because that was their whole
Dude,
life.
how do we get on this list to be merged? Because
Yeah.
we could take some players over here and be like, you should probably get into film.
yeah, it's true.
And they'd be like,
That's easy.
well, hot damn,
They
I
would
kind of
love
like
to.
it over
They
here.
would love to.
Ew.
Yeah. They just don't sometimes, and I think vets struggle with this too. Like they just don't think. They're like, well, I don't know anything about that. Like all I did was play football, or all I did was,
You learned
squeeze
how to
triggers.
long snap on YouTube. Dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. It's not that hard.
No, it's not.
You made a movie. It's
I
not
learned
that
it
hard.
on YouTube.
I mean, it's challenging,
Andrew Kramer.
but it's not that hard. You just got to do it.
Yeah,
You
just
know?
do it and f it up.
Yeah, exactly. So we made during COVID, we made a movie called MVP about that. So it's about a Marine living in a homeless shelter and a former NFL player, first year out of the league, based on true story, real people. And they're going through the same shit, just trying to like figure out what's next.
Yeah.
And it was cool because all the vet, like we were stuck in LA.
Yeah.
And all the vets were that like people living in LA that were pursuing acting. So I just cast all veterans to play the veterans in it.
Yeah.
And then like Randy Couture and Tony Gonzalez and Michael Strahan, all these athletes just play themselves in the story, kind of talking about
cool,
their what happened, even though it's like a scripted movie.
Yeah.
And and it did pretty well. We got finished with it, and Sylvester Stallone put his name on it and didn't ask for anything. He just was like, I want to see this get out here. That's why I took the picture of that Rambo thing. It's pretty damn. It was fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, and it's and we made it for nothing. We made it for like no money.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah, of course,
you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
it you just figured it out, and and it's out there. It's on Paramount Plus and Prime and Apple TV and all those places.
I'll have to check that out. That's cool.
Apple TV, Paramount Plus, MVP, baby.
Yeah. Sweet.
But yeah, that one was
Yeah. When did that come out during COVID? Like
it came out in
2020,
22. We filmed at the end of 20, and it
Okay.
came out. It came out in September in theaters in 22, and then November on Veterans Day, and when I started streaming
Awesome.
TVOD.
You must have been on set for Terminal List for a while because you're in like 7 episodes.
No, I'm only in the last 3, but thank you.
I mean, it seemed like
I should be in 7, right? I should be in 4 more.
Yeah, it should be 4 more. That's what I think. It felt like 7.
That's
I
good.
just kept seeing you.
Or that's like, wow, I'm so sick of this guy. It feels like he's just.
I mean, I don't know if I believe your attitude. I think that they had the character wrong. Like I think you would be siding a lot more
with
him rather than I think you would kind of get the crew together and you'd be like, we're not hunting one of our own.
Exactly.
But here's what we're gonna do. Like
Today's episode of Time for Pie is brought to you by Tushy. Tushy is the #1 way to get a really clean hole. In the future, people are going to look back and be like, what cavemen we were to just be using toilet paper to wipe doo-doo off of our holes. If you had doo-doo on any other part of your body, would you be satisfied with just smearing it off with some white paper until it came back kind of clean? No. You can now blast a fresh stream of water straight into your hole. The same water that comes from your sink or your shower. It's going to get all that doo-doo out of the crevices. And it's super easy to set up. It takes like 10 minutes, if that. Anyone could do it. A child could set this thing up. I wouldn't let a child do it, but that's how easy it is. This is honestly a life-changing product. I have been using a Tushy bidet for almost 5 years now, and I use about 1/4 of the amount of toilet paper that I used to use. Think of all the animals in the jungles and the forests that have lost their homes because we needed to cut down a tree and make a bunch of toilet paper out of it. It's kind of ridiculous. We could have just been blasting their holes with water the whole time. I don't know what you're waiting for. I can smell your stinky underwear from here.
I think you would be way more tactical about it.
Yeah.
And way more conversational with him rather than trying to, I don't see
I'm basically
an
a pawn.
HRT commander bucking up to that guy like you did on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
Where I think the HRT commander would, because they have a lot of negotiation skills.
Right.
So this isn't right away that a guy like him is not going to react well if you just challenge him.
Right.
This is only going to motivate him to dust you guys as much as he could and detonate a mountain on you.
Right.
You see? You're the reason they detonated
It's
the
my
mountain
fault.
on you.
It's true. It was fun to run down it, though. The landslide. No, that's true. That's true. I mean, there's definitely thought about that. And we were talking about this earlier with that story that you revealed to me, just the humor, like even in those crisis moments, whether it's a kill mission on James Reese or whatever, like there would be there's levity.
But you as that HRT commander though, you would have access to all of the intel, and I guarantee you would start a parallel right away going, hey, on a second, this guy has not killed a single like officer at all.
Right.
There's a pattern here that we're not noticing.
It's just above my pay grade, but you're not wrong.
Yeah, but this is how you would think. Like people in those, if you're the HRT, team leader, like you came from a soft background,
right.
Or
you
just
for sure.
sucked a lot of dick from Quantico.
Well, that's how I got that role. You knew that.
Wait, that's how they tasked you to be an FBI agent?
Yeah, exactly. Like, this guy's perfect.
That was great.
That was great. Now, will you please audition?
Thanks,
Like,
I guess.
Wait, what? This was a big fib? That's not fair.
So you got anything that you're working on currently or coming up?
We're working on the D-Day doc for sure. Almost done with that. A few other things in development, writing a script right now. I got into this Writers Guild writing program, like a veterans writing program. And I just kind of applied for it, got in. So I got some mentors or helped me write. Like I've never written a script from like a blank page. This is my first time doing it, and
it's wild. Isn't it?
Yeah, dude. I've co-written stuff and I've edited stuff, and things I've directed, like you do a director's pass or whatever. But this was the first time doing that, so it's hard, but it's awesome.
Final
I love
draft.
it. Oh yeah,
I shifted.
2
Writer's Duet.
Writers Duet.
Yeah, because it's all cloud based. So if I'm working on something, you can work on it at the same time.
I don't know if I like that because I don't trust people.
Well, I mean, you only share the ones that you want them.
That's true. That's smart. It's just like a Google Doc, basically. Yeah. That's cool.
It's really nice. And they have the app on your phone and iPad too. And once you learn all your quick keys, that's what I learned was Final Draft. But
right.
Once you learn tab and everything, like you can get real fast with it.
Right. That's cool. But yeah, working on that, and I started a meat company called 8 Primal.
Oh, okay.
There's 8 primal cuts on a cow.
Okay.
And so what sets us apart is all the meat is from Weimar, Texas, which is near LaGrange. A lot of ranches out there. I know a lot of ranches out here too. Yeah. And everybody says, "Oh, it's free range. It's free."
Sure,
dude. These cows have so much space out there. It's actually great.
Free range.
Yeah, it's a husband and wife. They grew up there.
No.
And they own the cows and the property.
That's awesome.
And so I'm gonna send you guys some meat.
Yeah,
we know meat very well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have a whole set to do meat things.
Yeah. Okay. No, I know. We're doing it. We're doing
that needs
it.
to be your home base for you got the perfect grill, the perfect setup, and it's we need to go film meat stuff. Yeah. I know where to do it.
But the thing that I enjoy, that I like about it is of course, it's all the no hormones and all that jazz.
Oh yeah.
But it's all from one place, and the cows are, born and bred and then butchered
right there,
packed and shipped from one spot. So there's no distribution facility.
Yeah, dude, they're happy.
Yeah, they're just having a great life. Yeah.
They love it, dude.
Yeah, they love it.
Taste it. They're like, I'm home.
Yeah, there's no fear in the meat.
No,
you don't taste that.
Oh, I'm just going next door today. They've never invited me next door before.
Yeah.
No, today's looking up, huh?
About to be a made cow.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know.
That's great. Go see the other side today.
Do you have like a grill that you use that you're particular about?
Dude,
or
I honestly, most of the time, I just use cast iron on the stove. You know what I mean?
That's a killer way.
Dude,
we should
invent some burgers though with 8 Primal.
Yeah.
I mean, you should have some kind of Longhorn burger or something like that. Like you needed something that's based on your career.
Do you make hot dogs?
It's sensitive to people though, because they're like Bevo.
Yeah.
That's Bevo. That's the Longhorn mascot's name, and I'm like,
you gotta have
him.
You gotta have
It's
something that's
his
like
family.
Yeah, it's just his kids.
Friends, dude.
It's his nephew. Come
It's
on.
his subjects.
Yeah, his nephew was bad. They were gonna have to put him in
stinky.
reform school. So.
Yeah, he got into dead carcass.
Yeah.
He stinks.
He's a burger now, dude. Yeah, we should get
Make the coolest burgers.
we should get Rectech to send him a smoker.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Well, we do these first meat videos out here.
Yeah,
send
and see if he
Rectech.
likes it.
And be
Yeah.
like, hey guys,
yeah,
there's more meat where that came from.
yeah. That'd
There
be
is.
fun.
We got lots
yeah.
of meat. What?
Heck yeah, that'd be fun.
We can't stop.
No, it's all the
Do they
time.
make hot dogs?
There's pork sausage. Yes. So we have pork too. It's beef and pork, but we are not currently doing dogs because it's like bone-in ribeye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
You know,
Yeah.
Denver steaks and
Good
fillets.
stuff.
You know,
I've never had no Denver
strip.
steak.
I don't think
Denver
I
steak's
have
good.
either, yeah.
It's similar to a fillet.
Okay.
So you will find out.
Okay. That sounds
no Denver
nice.
steak,
dude.
Yeah, I've never
It's
even, I
yummy.
don't think I've ever even heard of that.
Just did.
Denver
Heard it here
steak,
first.
Yeah, first word of mouth.
And do you have like a meat of the month club?
Well, we
I mean, that would be cool.
we should.
I mean, if
what
I
do you
just-
think? Just pitch me your ideas.
I'm just saying,
Actually,
like-
don't do it here because everybody's gonna.
But I'm saying what I would like
Okay.
is if like I just signed up and then I got surprise meat.
Yeah,
It
like
is
a meat
so
box. Yeah.
There is a lot of options that we could send, so it does change. You know what I mean? Throughout, because most people are doing like monthly. You know, once a month you get your box, and there's 2 different sizes or whatever, and you know it's always going to have like the things everybody wants a ribeye. They
Like
want a
the
New York strip.
weekender, you know?
yeah.
But then you could get the Korea box.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
one has a cat in it.
It's just dog.
It's just a whole dog. It's not even cooked or anything.
It's
You're
alive.
Like, oh God,
It's alive.
It's still alive. It's like barking at you. Oh shit! There's just a hammer in there with it.
the plastics is break its neck before opening.
You're like, what? It's like, yeah, it's vacuum sealed, like looking around, and there's just a hammer on the side. You're like, oh shit!
Or plastic bag over the. And you just pull the drawstring. And
Yeah, it just goes right to sleep.
That's
yeah,
it.
Yeah,
That's it.
and you just cook it right up, dude. It's easy. 1, 2, 3.
They do it. You know, it's good. It's bulgogi.
Microwavable, dude.
Yeah, microwavable
You
dog.
just add water.
Yeah, that could be our venture. We don't have the space for cows right
Wet,
now. We'll just have a
hot
bunch of dogs.
This is wet, hot dog.
We could just go to the what's the rules about that? We could just go to the pound, adopt them all, and start a dog box subscription.
Well, if you're sending out live dogs, you're technically a no-kill shelter.
Yeah, we're a no kill. Like we don't know what happens to them once they get there.
Dog of the month.
Yeah, and it's just full of.
Jared and Caleb's
They're
dog
just
of the month.
soaked in barbecue sauce. Just up to their knees in
Marinated.
barbecue sauce the whole time.
And you get to choose if you want to eat them or not.
Yeah. You
Or
can,
you
you can keep it if you think you could love it. You can keep it, but
You can love it.
yeah,
But at any time, if you stop loving it,
you can put him on the grill.
you know what to do.
It's easy,
That's horrible.
He's trained to go. You just
Yeah.
say, go to the grill.
and he knows. He hops
And
on.
he just- he
You've
knows
been
it's over.
bad in the grill. Damn it!
I was so close to a
Yeah,
nice home.
yeah. I could have lived here forever, but I pissed on this rug.
And I'm covered in barbecue sauce. I got
Yeah.
it all over the sheets.
Yeah, I feel like we
The dog's sleeping in your bed under your comforter.
covered in barbecue sauce.
barbecue sauce.
Nah, straight to the grill.
What kind of barbecue sauce? Like good barbecue sauce?
I mean, like Sweet Baby Ray's. We could go that route.
Okay, that's a good baseline.
Yeah, it's a good line.
Why would we go with anything else?
Yeah, it's a good baseline. It's not super expensive, and we could feel
And
a
it
lot of.
definitely would stain the sheets.
Yeah, that's ruining stuff, dude. That ain't coming out.
That dog.
Even
under
if you
your
get it
comforter,
out, it smells like that forever. Yeah.
wiggling around, just covered in sauce, dude. It's all over your toes.
Okay, yeah. So local dog shelters, be on the lookout for new investors.
New investors.
Yeah.
I mean, it would solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, it would. No more dog shelters. They either get a happy home or a full belly. And
Yeah.
it's
We have been
win-win.
around a
There's
lot
no
of
in
people the
between.
last couple
Yeah.
weeks that we don't necessarily know. You know, we've been on different sets, traveling,
Yeah.
different concerts, things like that. And I've been getting people a lot with I just look a little distraught, and they're like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Oh, dude, I'm just trying to recover from this huge financial loss I just took." They're like, "Oh, what happened?" I was like, "Oh, I invested a lot of money into cats."
Oh.
They were all in a steel building down in New Orleans, and the AC went out, so they all died. Like now, I just got a big building full of 600,000 dead cats. I don't really know how to flip this.
And you know how the buildings are in New Orleans.
And it's hot, dude.
It is damp.
Smells so
It's
bad.
hot and damp. There's a lot
I
of
don't even know who to call. Like, who cleans this up? Like, where do you even-
hazmat. That's crime scene cleanup.
New Orleans?
I
Yeah.
don't think they have.
That I
the,
don't know.
They don't have it there.
They don't have
Yeah.
the tonnage to move 600,000 felines. That's about
Yeah.
30 pounds a piece.
That's a burn in place.
It's a big cat. 30 pounds a
Yeah,
piece.
it's a big cat, dude. It's a bobcat.
Like baby tigers.
Where'd you get these cats?
I mean, they were healthy.
Yeah, sounds like it's Garfield.
That's where all your money went.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
feed them, get them up
That's-
30 pounds.
That's 2.4 million pounds of cat meat.
It's
What are you gonna
it's
do?
been
with
there for too long, though.
it? Dude. You can't fly it away.
Yeah. Well, wait, we've already talked about this because this is you just start your maggot farm and you start and you sell you open a bait shop down there.
bait shop
Yeah.
for maggots.
Yeah, and you just sell buckets of maggots.
You make them pick them.
Yeah, and then you could take the
Hey,
furs.
get the large boots, the
Yeah.
ones that go up to your
It's gonna,
thighs.
you don't want these maggots touching you.
No, you don't want the.
Yeah.
It's soft
It's
in there.
you will
It's been
slip.
hot.
You will slip, and you could just turn all the
You will
furs.
slip.
Yeah, just turn the furs into rugs and clothes,
Yeah.
and the rest of the slop.
I'm in the market for some furs. Where do you buy those?
for Etsy.
Oh,
Etsy
really?
does good because it's like real people. So it's like people that go out and
It's
like,
real people skin.
Yeah, it's like people that like actually go and hunt shit and like tan it themselves, or they own like.
That's crazy that Etsy is that.
Oh,
now.
it's awesome.
I just think like,
Yeah.
oh, someone made a cup.
Yeah,
or
like,
something.
Dude, yeah, it is
You know,
a lot
that
of cool
little thing.
Yeah, it's a
Freaking
cool
push.
shit like that. And then they have like I've got one of my bison furs that's up there. That was from Etsy, and it's just like a dude who like hunts and tans hides and like makes clothes out of
Has a
them and stuff like
mustache.
that. I think he really
Shaves
did. Like
with a knife.
huge, probably. But
Dude, you
yeah.
should ask him.
Do you have a big mustache? I'm just gonna like buy something.
Do
I'm
you
be like,
shave with a knife?
Can you send a picture of you and your mustache after you send this?
You shaving with the knife.
right now?
Yeah.
Butt naked, please.
Second photo of
Yeah.
you shaving with a knife.
Yeah.
That's it. He sends it to you.
And he's
just
like
naked.
cleaning his knife in the river because that's just where he's standing while he's shaving.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have so much crazy stuff on Etsy that you can get that is all like handmade or like handcrafted.
We need pirate uniforms.
You could probably get custom ones on there.
For what?
I don't know yet.
Today's episode is brought to you by Mando. Traveling and trying to stay fresh is a headache. Do I have what I need? Will it fit? I hate it. I simplified my travel with Mando's 4-in-1 acidified cleansing bar. That's right, certified acidified cleansing bar. It's a 5-ounce bar that does the work of shampoo, deodorant, face wash, and even body wash. Hell, you could even brush your teeth with it, but I wouldn't recommend it. Because it's acidified, it stops odor right at the source and makes sure that you don't smell like a creep. What's acidified mean? I have no idea, but I'm sure a doctor created that word, and because a doctor created it, I'm all for it. And at the end of the day, because it's so small, I now have more room in my luggage for even more packs of hot dogs. And you can get it in 3 yummy scents: Mount Fuji, Bourbon Leather, and Pro Sport. Sadly, no hot dogs on this one. And if you want to try Mando and enjoy it as much as I have, well, I have a special offer for TFP listeners. The Mando Starter Pack is perfect for new customers, and with the code PIE, that gives you $5 off. That's 40% off your order. So go to shopmando.com, and don't forget, use the code PIE. And that's shopmando.com, and use the code PIE, and stop smelling bad.
Pirating.
Yeah.
I don't think they called them uniforms, did they? Because uniform would mean that they're the same.
That is true.
Yeah, I think they call them get-ups.
Attire.
pirate attire.
Outfits.
Yeah. Yeah. Pirate attire.
But you know what? It's like you're torn because on some of these films, they're wearing like 10 layers.
it's too
But they're
much.
hanging out in the
Too much.
Caribbean, dude.
Yeah.
Who the wants 19 layers of
And that's
vest
wool.
and a shirt
Yeah.
and a coat?
A thick wool coat.
I worked on this little movie in in Western Massachusetts in the dead of winter, and it was freezing the whole time. We were
Pirates of the
actually
Caribbean.
freezing. That's not it. That's not it. Close. And we were talking to one of the crew members there who works on projects out there all the time, and I guess they film all the Hallmark Christmas movies out there. It's a place called Shelburne Falls, but they do it in the summer. So it's all fake snow, but then they're all wearing the winter stuff. So everybody, all the actors and everybody's just sweating bullets.
Dude, no way.
Why can't you just use real snow?
Because they don't do it in the winter. They do it in the summer.
But that's what I mean. Why not? What?
Longer days, like better
you're
for
not
filming.
filming in a place that's cold enough to keep snow from melting, the snow melts. So you use fake snow so you can film.
I mean, I think he understands the concept.
We gotta
Dude.
we gotta tug him along sometimes.
I'm talking about New Orleans, dude. It's hot.
Yeah. Well, it's
these
weird.
cats
So it's like
stink.
this mountain wintry
I know
town.
exactly what
You
you're
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same place. Where
But none of the actors would work on it. That's the reason. Because they'd be like, it's too cold.
a Hallmark actor, like pass. We'll go with
Yeah.
a WB actor is cooler than you.
Yeah.
I've been in 19 Hallmark films. Really? Do you have a job?
What do you do?
Have you done anything else?
What do you do
that
for a living?
that I would like to watch? Because I'm not getting through one Hallmark movie. Like even if it was for a girl and she was hot, she's like, I was the lead in this movie. I'm like,
What if, I don't know. That might change.
that's
it.
cool.
That
No,
might.
no.
Yeah.
I'll look at the poster for a minute,
Yeah. Make her sign a poster.
but then I'm not hanging it up.
Yeah.
I don't want people to know that she was just in Hallmark shit. Like,
Embarrassing.
oh, this is
dude.
my actress girlfriend. Oh, really? Is she in anything cool? No.
only Hallmark movies.
It's all Hallmark.
Where she plays a teacher.
Oh, you're an actress for Hallmark? I'm a soldier in Call of Duty.
Oh shit.
Because don't they just kind of shift around? Like you go from Christmas time where the same cast is all about, you know, the guy coming home for Christmas and falling back in love with the girl that he was with in high school. But then around fall time, Hallmark changes and it's the same cast, but now he's a killer that likes to strangle people, but he's fallen in love before he goes to jail.
Hallmark does that?
I'm pretty sure.
I think that's
That's
American Horror
Lifetime.
Story.
Bro, that's like Lifetime.
Yeah, true.
Lifetime and Hallmark are very different.
Yeah.
Lifetime
I
is
wouldn't
like
say that.
they're
A crowbar of
tone-
separation.
tonally they're similar.
Okay.
And the look.
And the
but,
look,
But the
yeah.
storylines, I think Lifetime's more like the searching for a child or something.
Serial killer.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, something
fell in
bad.
love.
Yeah, the story of one
Think
of
how
those.
many beautiful women are incarcerated right now.
I love
Statistically-
seeing those Instagram memes of like the. I can't remember what it's called.
Statistically?
It's like
Mug shouties?
what's that?
Dave,
Mug shouties.
Can
That's
you,
it.
Can
Mug
you figure
shouties
out
is
how many
great.
women are in prison in the United States right now?
No.
Come on.
I mean, I could. I just don't want to.
Just give me a
Total?
number.
17,000.
That seems way low.
11
I mean, that's per state.
million.
That's like a Montana number, probably.
I bet it's 3 million.
3 million.
Yeah.
So wait, 1 in 50 women are in prison? I don't think so.
What he's trying to say is we think you're guessing.
I mean, I was
I think
guessing.
that's not right.
Okay, it's 190,000.
See, I was closer.
Oh yeah, that sounds right.
I was close
So-
without going over. F you, I win.
Huh?
Price is Right rules. I was close without going over.
What did you guess?
17,000.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it is right. You're closer.
I want to watch it. And you talking about Hallmark movies made me think of it. I never did watch it. Did you see Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig made a Hallmark movie like back in 2015? And you know they're all like so cheesy, they're bad, and it's like kind of why people.
Oh, it's
love
supposed
them.
to be like
It's like kind of making
Kristen
fun
Wiig
of
is
that.
funny.
Yeah,
She's
it's kind of making fun of that, and it's the it's called A Deadly Adoption.
Oh,
I
God.
need to watch it, but it's got like
Deadly
super
Adoption.
bad ratings.
Well, that sounds like a Lifetime movie.
yeah, it's a Hallmark
Those are
movie.
different.
I know, but it's Hallmark. I think it was on Hallmark.
It was on
Yeah,
Hallmark?
yeah.
Well, to your point, maybe you're
A
right.
Deadly
Maybe
Adoption.
you're
I'm telling
right.
you, they
Yeah.
switch it up. It's all
I stand
it's all
corrected.
Killer.
Yeah.
But it's never.
I've only seen the happy ones.
It's never like the murderous killer is on the loose. It's always like he's facing trial, but then there's a love story. He
Yeah.
fell in love with his lawyer.
the
So it's
greeting
like-
card company.
Yeah,
I don't
dude,
know.
It's weird.
I mean, I believe.
Have you seen like they've been getting so granular with like now it's like, you know, birthday grandma, one leg. You're like, what the
What?
Yeah,
Like in the
get a
card section. It's like, it's so,
Does your grandma have one leg?
oh my God.
Sorry about your leg, Grandma.
Birthday, grandma,
Sorry
interracial
about your
couple,
leg.
Yeah.
racist in-laws.
Oh, dude, we should
Happy
make a
Kwanzaa,
video
they,
of
them
that.
sibling.
If that's not already a thing, we should make a video of that. Going to go get a card for somebody, and then there's just all these
It's like,
insane
wait, what? I'm
categories.
just-
what the fuck?
And there's a really creepy salesman that's like,
Yeah.
can I interest you in?
And it is a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
And that salesman is a killer.
Whoa,
It's a love story.
Whoa.
Got it. That's
I don't know what just made me think of that. Have y'all seen that stuff about the? It's called BBC, but it's a British broadcast, whatever.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
The BBC. It's a big news.
Did y'all see?
British broadcast
Not,
company.
not the other thing.
Yeah, not that one. Yeah, we don't want to talk about that one.
No.
Did y'all see?
now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about it. I had to
I
clarify.
agree.
What?
8 primal. 8.5 primal.
8 primal.
9 primal.
8 thick primal.
They had a crocodile expert or something that worked for them for like years and years, and he just got convicted of like 50 some counts of like dogs to death.
Wait, BBC had a crocodile expert?
Yep.
Why? Britain. There's no
I have
crocodiles.
no clue, but they had like he had a
He
crocodile
worked in the
expert
crocodile department.
that would travel, and like apparently like I guess he was pretty well liked.
Sounds like he's a crocophile.
Dude,
No,
something.
because he's a dog.
he but he
That's what I mean.
like 50 dogs to death.
They were all young. There's no way those
And now
dogs were
he's-
over 18.
He's in
be
prison
honest.
for like 10 years.
What the fuck?
They said apparently they somehow
Were they
tracked
slathered
it.
in barbecue sauce?
I hope, man. At least for their sake, I hope they went out like that. But they said that he was like documenting it or something and putting it on some weird thread where people could like went and talked about creepy shit they were into, and somehow someone found out it was him or linked it to him, and they like got a hold of his shit and found out that he was sexually abused like 50 some dogs and 40 some of them died from it, and he was like they were just all buried around his property and shit, like crazy stuff, dude.
You don't think like when you're digging the 31st hole, you're kind of like, man,
I should probably stuff dogs to death.
Was he listening to ACDC? Giving the dog a bone, giving the whole time, just headbanging.
Yeah.
I feel like,
Just-
like, needs a theme song.
Like, what the hell, man? Like, I thought it was a fake article. I was like, this is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. And I started looking into it more. Oh, this is real.
like that midget fighting team that had to fight a lion.
Yeah.
42 of them dead.
Yeah, dead.
Yeah.
they had to?
Good on
had
the
to.
lion.
It
That's
was
a quality
South
cat.
Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy was holding like midget gladiator fights like to the death.
Wait, hold on. Was it 42 midgets in one fight or total?
42 in one fight versus one lion.
Dude, that cat deserves a prize.
Something, yeah.
I mean,
That's quality.
Pound for pound. That's, I
Yeah.
mean, those are 30 pounds a piece, similar to your cats.
Yeah.
You know?
60 pounders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
double cat.
Damn.
Sixers.
You have a microphone that you need to use.
Those are Sixers.
I am going to go watch that new Gladiator this week.
Is it out?
Yep, it's out.
Is it good?
It's got really good ratings, and they're like wow, Denzel is so great in this, and then Pedro does so good. And I watched like an extended trailer yesterday, and man, they really whoever the new guy is, they have him regurgitating like prime lines from the first one, and I was like, wow, he's really just saying the same exact lines. From
Wait,
the first
really?
Movie. Yeah. There's a part where he's like, I will have my vengeance in this life or the next, and then there's another one where he says something. It's just like his key lines from the first one. He just
Are you
this
not
same guy.
entertained?
He's just saying them in this one too. I was like, what? I was like, that doesn't seem right. But it's got great ratings. So yeah, I want to go check it
It's
out.
just M. Night Shyamalan actually directed it and he tricked all of us. He's like, this isn't a gladiator movie. Stupid.
It's weird to me that it's called Gladiator 2.
Oh,
Like,
it
it feels
literally-
like Ghostbusters 2. Like it's
Yeah.
a gladiator. I don't
Yeah.
know. It needs like a subtitle that's
I know,
not
right?
2.
Like something.
Yeah, because it's
something
definitely
else.
not two.
And that's supposedly it's the same timeline because it's he goes and he gets Maximus's sword at one point and wears his armor and shit. Like it's like just a little.
So we
distant-
just have like Timu Maximus.
pretty much.
Yeah, because this guy didn't command the generals of the North. the
he
armies of the
says
North
some
and-
same shit like that.
Germania?
Like it's weird. But yeah, you need to watch that trailer because you'll see. You're like, oh, like he's just saying all the same lines from the first one. So I'm kind of nervous about it, but it's got great ratings.
That's good.
but
I don't know. Denzel's hard to beat. He never fails. As far as his performance.
And they say
He's
he
always
does really good.
Equalizer
in it.
series was swell.
Those are good. And he's got 2 more of those coming out. They
Two
just
more
confirmed
Equalizers?
2 more. Yeah,
I love that.
they
See, those can have
confirmed 2
numbers
more.
after that.
Yeah.
Because it's
Honestly,
Denzel.
make me 12 equalizers.
2 more of those things.
Equalizers.
Yeah.
Give me them equalizers.
Yeah, dude, just keep making me them equalizers.
I
I
like-
love the first one.
Did you ever
It's
see
pretty
those
cool.
movies with Sam Elliott, or not Sam Elliott? What's his name? Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman.
very different
Yeah.
people.
I don't know why that name just came into my head.
I can see how you mix them up.
Yeah.
Mustache.
But Morgan
both
Freeman.
sound like
They're
God.
both humans.
They both have great
do have
voices.
great voices.
Yeah, that's
That's
what it
true.
was. Because that's what I was trying to think in my head. The guy with the great voice, Sam Elliott. Wait, no, but no, those movies where he
dude.
Along Came a Spider.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
all those other
Kiss
movies.
the Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, those are great movies too.
Those are good movies.
Thriller, like cop detective movies. Those are killer.
Those are, are those part of the Silence of the Lambs franchise or no?
I think they say that they're connected in some way.
can't remember.
Yeah,
Dude, I
like-
just got done watching
I know it's
Mind
Alex
Hunters
Cross.
from
Yeah,
start
yeah.
to finish.
what is it?
What is it?
Mind Hunters.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
yeah,
dude, I've
that's
heard
good.
great stuff about that stuff. Yeah.
Hey, it's 2 seasons. It's
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it's true.
We talked about this. Have you seen an episode of Landman yet?
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh, dude, it's so good.
What
so
is
so
it?
Isn't that
so
Taylor Sheridan?
Oil.
it's Taylor
people?
Sheridan, but it's Billy Bob Thornton is literally playing.
Oh, shit.
He's playing the bad Santa
Oh,
character,
yeah.
but he's
as,
an oil guy. It's so good.
Oh, dude,
I think
yeah.
it's good.
Apparently, I saw something about this where they're like they wrote it specifically for Billy Bob. They're like, this is
They're just
this
like,
is
hey,
you be you.
You are bad Santa.
Yeah.
Go
and do
Which
this.
obviously is probably just
Okay, so it's good.
I liked it. I
Okay,
watched.
cool.
I've seen 3 episodes. And I thought it was
Cool.
great.
Yeah, because I've been wanting to watch it. Every time I
Yeah.
see a commercial, where I'm like, oh, I bet that's
It's
that's
funny,
awesome.
man. The relationship with him and his daughter is
Hell
just.
yeah. Okay, cool.
And
Okay,
then I
what's that
started
on?
3 People Problem. I think that's
Three
what
body problem.
Three
Three
body
body problem. Yeah, I saw.
I don't know.
I've
What
seen
is
the
that?
Previews with that. Pretty
It's
good.
really good. Yeah.
Okay, shit.
It's
It's a movie or a
no,
series?
it's a Netflix series.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, this is different.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
This is very interesting.
What is the problem? I didn't catch on before I got bored.
You did? I mean, the first episode goes through the whole thing.
I wasn't there very long.
I mean, essentially, like it's a big string theory thing that there's 3 people are constantly connected in different time areas. Well, this Chinese like astrophysicist who got in trouble because her dad, kind of sided with science over the Chinese government, and they like killed him over some things, because he was like, but that's what the science says. And they're like, no, it does not. Then they kill him. So homegirl gets exiled to like this giant radio thing, and they don't know really what they're doing, but she starts figuring it out because she's smarter than everybody there, and she's an astrophysicist. And then she realized that they're sending transmissions into deep space to see if they get any replies. And she realizes that they got a reply, and we got it too, in like the 60s. And it's still talked about today as this like 12-minute transmission that we have this nickname for that's pretty wild. But she realized that they were using the sun to bounce off the signal. So she positions that thing and transmits directly at the sun because it like amplifies the transmission and uses it as like a giant antenna, and tells these guys to come, and they're on their way.
Oh, come like
Yeah.
that spelling.
Oh, like she's not like giving instructions. She's just come here.
Yeah, essentially,
okay.
like she gets a warning that transmission that we received, we didn't decode, but she could because she knew the code or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And
I
it
thought she
was-
was like sending a JOI out into space.
No, it was like the transmission came back that was like, do not respond to this, because if you do, like our world is about to die, and everyone here will just take off for yours, and we're going to take it away from you. And so she was like, go ahead, we're already lost. Like, send. And that was like in the 60s. Well, now it's present day, and these things are on their way.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Oh, okay. Cool. I like that kind of
Lord.
stuff. Yeah. God, what does that make me think of? There's like a movie really similar to that, where there's like 3 different time periods going on at the same time. Oh, Cloud Atlas. That was a weird one though.
Oh,
That was a movie.
Yeah, that was a weird
Long time
movie.
ago,
Yeah, that was a weird movie.
Didn't do too hot, I don't think.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
I've always skipped over
It
it.
was weird. It was too weird.
Wasn't it one of those that like it won a bunch of awards, but no one actually
Especially
went to the theater to
I think
see
the
it?
music
I don't
really
know if that
won
one
awards.
did.
Yeah,
It maybe did.
I think the music did.
I feel like it just didn't.
It was weird, man. It seemed like I don't know
hard
how
to
they
follow.
got away with a lot of it because it was like white dudes playing Chinese guys, and they put like a lot of like clay makeup around his face to give him Chinese eyes, and it was like really intense. And I being like even when I saw, it, I was like, ooh, I was like, they shouldn't have done that. And then they had this Chinese girl playing a white girl, and they like used eye wideners on her. It was just
Wait,
like,
what?
Yeah, dude, it was like
I don't even remember this
If you
part.
rewatch it now, you're gonna be like, ooh, like
This is odd.
that was
Didn't
weird
age well.
choice. Yeah.
It's funny.
We were watching this clipped episode of Rogan where some girl goes on there and starts talking shit about Tulsi Gabbard. And he was like, Rogan's like, really? I've never heard that before. Like making like these crazy claims, like she's a puppet for Assad and all this stuff. And she's like, Jamie, look this up. And and she keeps going, like, and she's this, she's a Russian, blah, blah. And Joe's like, I've never heard that either. And she's like, Jamie, and finally Jamie goes, hey, I cannot sit here and research everything that you just make claim to. Like, it's like,
Oh, Jamie got snippy.
oh yeah, it was awesome. I would too. If your guest should never say, Jamie, tell me this.
Yeah,
like
a guest should be like, hey,
no,
could you
no.
please?
that is a freaking reserved for Joe only thing.
Who was that person?
I have no.
was
She
that?
was just some dumb girl. I don't know.
That's one
Probably-
thing I do like about Joe is he'll have intentionally stupid people on just to give him a chance.
Yeah, that's good.
He's like, oh, go ahead and tell me what you mean by that. And she's like, oh, but somewhere it said somewhere, like,
Yeah, and she finally like
yeah,
found
when
an article
when
that
you
was
Google,
backing her
like,
claim
the
up.
actual words.
Yeah, of course. It's written somewhere. Whatever you're saying, whatever you're thinking is
Yeah,
somewhere.
because
Someone has
anybody
written
can write
about it.
anything, yeah.
It doesn't mean it's even close to fact.
Is
Community
it
notes.
Bari Weiss?
Yeah, yeah, that's her.
What's that guy that goes to like campuses and stuff and like debates?
Charlie Kirk.
Man,
He's good.
I really like him. I see his clips all the time and they're so funny. Like he just destroys these kids.
Yeah, because
all
the
time.
kids don't show up.
They just
prepared
don't
for
know anything, man. They don't know anything.
They've made their mind up, but they don't know anything.
And that's what
He's
it
like,
is. He'll be like, okay, so name one thing. And they're like, and they'll like look around the crowd and they'll be
You
like,
could Google it.
yeah,
Like,
and they'll be
Google
like,
what?
no, none of that happened. Like it's kids just saying random shit, and they're like, no, none of that's real, and they're like, oh, and that's usually it. It's like hilarious.
Shucks.
He just like roasts them all, or he's like really nice about it, or the kid totally switches their opinion. You're like, oh, that went well.
I mean, my favorite one was the girl like got up there and introduced herself. She's like, well, I'm queer. And he goes, cool. What is that?
Yeah,
And she goes, well, it's just the way that I feel. He goes, well,
I mean,
are
like
you,
weird.
are you gay? She goes, yeah, I'm a lesbian. He goes, okay, then why aren't you a lesbian? She goes, no, because I'm queer. He goes, yeah, but what is that? And she's like, well, no, it's just what I identify as. He goes, yes, but if I'm going to understand
yeah.
what you identify as, you have to provide me a definition for this. She goes,
Yeah.
I don't have to provide you a definition. He goes, no, you do. Because if you want me to believe that there is a difference between lesbian and queer, you have to tell me what that difference is, because I don't know what it is. So do you know what it is? She's like, well, I don't know what it is. He goes, well,
Okay.
where are we at then?
Yeah, he's hilarious watching these debate these guys. It's funny though, because he's just like just teaching them like the actual shit. Yeah.
He's like,
Well, that's wrong. Look this up.
yeah, they always like to jump on him saying like, you're against the civil rights movement. He's like, no, the civil rights, he says it's being misused.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Yeah, he's a fun one. I like his little clips. Well, cool. Yeah, we've
meat,
meat. We
Meat,
got
dude.
meat.
a lot of meat.
Can't beat our
Some
meat.
new projects coming out? New movie in the works, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a few things.
Movie on
happened.
Paramount.
But the
movies
D-Day.
and meats.
Yeah, check out MVP for sure.
Yeah, yeah, okay,
The
yeah.
D-Day one it'll be good. Hopefully it's out, or at least we start screening it in festivals or something like that, like May or June, because that's the next anniversary and obviously Memorial Day and all that. But
Heck yeah.
yeah,
Well, awesome.
And if you write in the special instructions upon checkout at 8 Primal, Roo,
Yeah. He will put a dog in there.
Nate will sign your steak.
If there's any spare dogs, he'll put
he'll put a spare dog in your package.
Not a stray, a spare.
A spare
dog.
Give me spare dogs.
All right, sweet. Thanks for coming, buddy.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. Fucking weirdos.